Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and salam sejahtera. I am Siti Nur Yusof from University Pendidikan Sultan Idris. We'll be presenting on teachers' beliefs of learner autonomy in English language learning. Learner autonomy is currently one of the most widely discussed concepts in second language pedagogy. It is also a common goal of second language learning in the KBSM and KSSM English language curricula. However, there is a lack of research in the Malaysian secondary school context with regards to teachers' beliefs of learner autonomy. Thus, the aim of this study is to investigate English language teachers' beliefs and practices of learner autonomy in secondary schools. First and foremost, what is learner autonomy? One of the most prominent definitions is from Henry Hollecht in 1981, whereby learner autonomy is the ability to take charge of one's own learning. David Little also came up with his own definition, which is autonomy is a capacity for detachment, critical reflection, decision making, and independent action. Dam also defined autonomy through certain characterization by a readiness to take charge of one's own learning in the service of one's needs and purposes. What is the importance of learner autonomy? First and foremost, it promotes self-directed learning and socially responsible language learning. It also develops reflective learning and self-assessment. To develop negotiated learning strategies and learner commitment, and in the long run, learner autonomy will promote lifelong learning. Now, David Little discussed three pedagogical principles that should be applied when developing learner autonomy. 1. Learner involvement. Teachers have to help learners take charge of their own learning by engaging them in planning, monitoring, and evaluation of their learning. Second, learner reflection. Teachers help learners to engage in reflecting with the process and content of their learning. And thirdly, the target language use. Teacher must help learners to use the target language as much as possible. Now, the methodology for this study is a survey. I use a questionnaire adapted from Bog and Al-Busaidi. It is to reveal teachers' general perceptions of learner autonomy. The questionnaire was distributed to 100 teachers in the northern state of Malaysia. My response rate or written rate was 72%, 63 females and 9 male. 87.5% are English optionists. Table 1 shows the years of English language teaching experience, whereby most of the respondents could be considered highly experienced, with 20.8% having 21 plus years of experience. I will focus on the main findings from the questionnaire. The question was statement: language learners of all ages can develop learner autonomy. Now, majority of the teachers agreed with the statement. Second statement: learner autonomy allows language learners to learn more effectively. 52 teachers agreed, 11 strongly agreed, with only 7 unsure. The next statement is learner autonomy can be achieved by learners of all cultural background. Again, majority of the teachers agreed with the statement. To the statement, learner autonomy is a concept which is not suitable to Malaysian learners. Most of the teachers disagreed. However, there were some who were unsure, and about 11 or 10% agreed with the statement that learner autonomy is not suitable to Malaysian learners. For the next statement, involving learners in deciding language learning needs, 54 0.3% sometimes involve their learners, 21.4% often included their learners in deciding language learning needs, where only 8.6% involved their learners in deciding their language needs. The next one is involving learners in deciding learning tasks or activities. Again, 40.8% would choose sometimes. Nearly the same would choose often, 25.4%. Figure 7, involving learners in deciding learning materials. Half, 51.4% would say sometimes. For involving learners in deciding homework tasks, 29.2% said rarely, 30.6% chose sometimes, while 27.8% said they often did it. Only 5.6% always allowed learners to decide in their homework tasks. Now, figure 9 shows involving learners in deciding of learner assessments. More choose rarely, 34.7%. This may be due to that assessment is already set by the ministry or the school on how to assess the students. Figure 10, encouraging learners to evaluate language learning through self-reflection. Now this is good. This nearly all teachers do it in class. 39.4% say they often do it, and 23.9% say they always do it, which is good. And encouraging learners to evaluate language learning through peer reflection. Again, 40.8% choose often, and 19.7% chose always. So our teachers encourage students to reflect on their learning. Although teachers generally agree that learner autonomy is important, they don't necessarily encourage it in classroom. It is a desirable concept, but not really feasible to be implemented in the classroom. And there is a mismatch of teachers' beliefs and their actual classroom practices. I can see that it is more teacher-centered, most likely due to the exam-oriented culture that we have. And there is a need to develop learner autonomy among language learners. It has become very crucial in the ever-changing world, and specifically in a new learning norm, especially during this pandemic. Thus, it is important to investigate teachers' beliefs and practices in order to address issues that may arise and to plan for future teacher development. With that, I would like to thank you for listening to my presentation.